hogs, an invasive species that breeds at a staggering rate. They don't just destroy crops and attack livestock, but at times, they can pose a direct threat to people. On sprawling farmlands, it takes only a few nights for them to turn fertile fields into barren wastelands. That's why Lucas and local ranchers chose a bold approach, hunting hogs from a helicopter, where every decision is made in the blink of an eye. Does helicopter hog hunting really work? Let's find out in his latest hunt. The rotor blades scream as the chopper races over endless fields. From above, Lucas and his friends spot a herd of hogs scattering wildly. Lucas steadies his rifle, sights in on the black shapes tearing across the open ground, and squeezes the trigger, dropping his target instantly. One clean shot, and they collapse onto the dirt, motionless. Presses on toward a barren field. Tracks crisscross the sand, signs of heavy hog activity. Rifle at the ready, he fires in rapid succession. Any hog that enters his sights goes down, so fast they don't even have a chance to react. Even at full spurt, the big hogs can't escape his aim. Fueled by adrenaline, Lucas continues the chase, determined to wipe out as many of these destructive invaders as possible. Drives the massive herd into a panic. Lucas loses track of how many hogs have been taken down today. Every pull of the trigger drops another black shadow, fast, clean, decisive. Still, that number barely makes a dent. These hogs breed at an incredible rate, and without control, they can wipe out an entire ranch in no time. Come nightfall, Lucas and his crew switch tactics. They decide to hunt after dark, armed with advanced thermal scopes that reveal every target in the blackness. The first shot drops one instantly, but the rest scatter in panic. Too late. One by one, they're picked off within seconds. Passing by the cattle pens, Lucas spots a group of hogs rummaging through leftover feed. Finding the perfect angle, he drops the largest one, sending the rest fleeing. Exhaustion starts to set in, but the hunt isn't over. Shots keep ringing out. One shot, one kill. The hogs fall one after another. In the pitch-black night, Lucas relies solely on his thermal scope. The moment a hog enters his view, he fires without hesitation. A clean drops it, riding in the That's the end of today's video. Which moment impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our next epic hunts. See you next time. Locals are no strangers to growls in the brush. Cornfields torn apart like a storm had just passed through. Or calves lying motionless after a quiet night. These animals breed rapidly, wreak havoc, and face virtually no natural predators. That's why hunting them isn't just a pastime. It's a vital part of protecting rural life. Around 6:40 a.m., just as we arrived at our rendezvous point, I noticed slight movement in the brush roughly 70 meters ahead. Looking through the scope, a massive herd of wild boars came into view, leaving us all stunned. I held my position, letting them move closer. When they were just 40 meters away, I pulled the trigger. The first shot dropped the lead boar. The rest panicked and scattered, but I, along with the team, quickly picked off several more. It was a strong start to the day. After scouting the terrain and moving east, I received a signal from a buddy alerting me to major movement nearby. I calmed my breathing and took aim at the biggest male. One shot, and he went down immediately. The rest bolted in panic, straight into my buddy's line of fire. Within just 10 seconds, we had taken down several more. This was one of our most effective ambushes ever. To avoid detection, we relocated our ambush site. I hid behind a dense bush. A faint rustling noise reached my ears. I got into position quickly, reloaded, and prepared for action. The moment came. Gunfire rang out. One target down. Our haul was quickly piling up. With no time to plan, we flushed them out into an open field. The moment one came into my sights, I raised the rifle, adjusted the crosshairs, and fired. One shot, one kill. The surprise and the control I felt in that moment had my adrenaline pumping. Back in the woods, we resumed our search. An hour passed. It felt like the hunt might be over until a massive shadow darted past. Instinct kicked in. I raised my gun and fired, dropping the boar before it disappeared. As the day drew to a close, more wild boars began appearing. Ambushes were no longer an option. We had to give chase. I kept a steady pace, focused my aim, and took one down at 60 meters at the same time. A buddy of mine bagged another nearby. After a long, exhausting day, we had achieved something incredible. This hunt wasn't just a success.
Çok güzel.
We started our trip on a chilly morning across dozens of kilometers of grassland. The wind was gentle, the sky was clear, And ahead was a special experiment, hunting wild boar with a specialized drone. No more old-fashioned hunting trips with barking dogs and stalking footsteps. Today, we rely entirely on technology. Drones equipped with infrared cameras, live data transmission, and a highly skilled hunting team, ready to act when ordered. Are you ready? Let's get started right away. The drone left the launch pad, quickly gliding over the grass and scanning every centimeter of the terrain. Just a few minutes later, the first signal appeared on the screen. A herd of adult wild boars was wandering around foraging not far away. Our group immediately approached according to the transmitted coordinates. The location was marked. We spread out, creating a pincer movement. As soon as the target appeared in sight, a series of continuous bullets rang out. A few pigs were hit and fell down immediately. The rest were scared and ran everywhere. Seizing the opportunity, we followed immediately, determined not to let any target have a chance to survive. It seemed like today was a successful hunting day, as we didn't spend too much time and effort searching for the target. The whole team patiently monitored the movement of the herd through the aerial camera. Here it is. A familiar figure appeared and disappeared under the dry grass. The distance wasn't too far. The enemy was less than 10 m away from us. The shot came from close range, decisive and effective. The target was taken down in just a few short seconds. This time, the drone detected a small trail that was frequently trampled, a sign that wild boars used to move back and forth. We waited until there were signs of stronger heat movement, then we immediately launched an ambush. Each member followed the instructions. When the herd of wild boars stopped and hid behind the trees, a rapid barrage of bullets was fired. Two were killed on the spot. One was injured and didn't run far before collapsing. Hunting until dusk, at which point our vision became useless. But the drone continued to operate. Now the infrared camera was at its peak. A red that appeared at the edge of the field. Nighttime was their peak activity time, so there were not just one but many wild boars near us. The space was quiet, with only the sound of the wind and the gentle drone engine above. We quietly approached, chose a favorable position, and fired from a safe distance. Not a single extra sound. The boar fell as if it had never noticed that someone was watching it from above. adjusting the drone to fly at a lower altitude to get a clear picture. From the screen, we saw every movement clearly, quickly approaching and planning an attack. With the advantage of instant location, taking down the enemy became easy. Another lightning attack ended the chase. One shot, one kill. Each boar fell one by one after fatal shots. Before ending the mission, we scanned an area near the open forest. Sure enough, they were hiding here. And of course, we couldn't miss this opportunity. They would pay for the damage they had caused. It was already midnight when we returned, with the truck loaded with spoils. Although my teammates and I were tired, we were also very happy with the results of today's trip. It can be seen that technology has completely changed the game. With drones, we can not only track the location of wild boars, but also predict their movements, plan precise attacks, and minimize risks. Not a single wild boar escaped our control. Technology has helped us act smarter, more effectively, and much more safely. Wild boars are no longer just a concern for farmers. Now, they are causing nightmares all over the world, especially in the United States. Wild boars not only invade land, but also threaten communities, destroy crops, and endanger people. And today, we are on the road again, continuing the dramatic battle with this animal. Follow our team of hunters on their wild boar hunting journey and witness the thrilling moments of the chase. Early in the morning, we were at the edge of the forest, ready for a challenging hunt. We went deep into the dense forest. Just a few minutes later, the hunting dogs picked up the scent of the prey. Their barks echoed throughout the area, signaling that the target was very close. Following the sound, I headed towards a clearing between the trees. Through the foliage, I saw a herd of wild boars running in panic, trying to escape the fierce pursuit of the hunting dogs. Quickly hiding behind a large tree trunk, I raised my gun, aiming at the largest wild boar in the herd. It was running fast, but I waited patiently for the right moment. When it was clearly in my sight, I took a deep breath, held the barrel of the gun steady, and pulled the trigger decisively. The loud sound of the gun echoed in the deep forest. A fatal shot. This was not the first time we had set foot in this forest. As experienced hunters, we knew the habits and movements of the wild boars well. Therefore, in this area, many observation posts have been built, becoming ideal positions to help us monitor prey and hunt effectively. Choosing a nearby observation post, I quickly climbed up, stabilized my position, and was ready to wait. From above, my vision covered a large area, making it easy to detect even the smallest movements. Suddenly, a black shadow rushed past right in front of my eyes. Reflexively, I tightened the trigger. The wild boar was hit, stopped, and collapsed on the side of the road. Not wasting the opportunity, I quickly turned the gun to the left. At a distance of about 200 m, another wild boar was trying to run away. Taking a deep breath, I aligned my aim and pulled the trigger. This time, the target continued to be taken down neatly. As I left my hiding place, the quiet atmosphere was suddenly broken by a loud noise. Suddenly, from between the trees, a wild boar rushed forward with red eyes full of anger and a dizzying speed. It seemed like it had been waiting for this moment for a long time. Although it was a dangerous situation, with my extensive experience in hunting, I did not panic. Everything seemed to happen very slowly. I quickly realized the situation and calmly raised my gun. Aiming precisely at the vital point, I pulled the trigger without hesitation. The bullet hit the wild boar's head, causing it to collapse immediately. The number of wild boars was increasing. They appeared everywhere, surrounding my hiding place. Every movement in the forest made me highly alert. It felt like the whole forest was bustling with the presence of the herd of pigs. That was the opportunity one was waiting for. Everything was ready. Gun in hand, bullets loaded. I was just waiting for the opportunity to fire. One shot, one kill. Gunshots rang out continuously. Each wild boar fell mercilessly.
Good.
After taking down the herd of wild boars at the observation post, I didn't stop. The forest next door was still uncontrolled, and that was where I continued my hunting journey. I moved cautiously, avoiding revealing my position. Every step was carefully calculated. As soon as I entered the forest next door, the pack of hunting dogs that had been lying in wait began to bark loudly, signaling that the prey was not far away. With the support of the dogs, I easily took down 4 more wild boars, increasing my number of spoils.
Yes.
As soon as the gunshot rang out, a few wild boars in the pack realized the danger and hurriedly looked for a way to escape. However, I had already grasped their every move, and they could not fool me. I immediately adjusted my position and pulled the trigger. However, the bullet did not hit a vital spot, so they still had the ability to escape. However, its body was damaged, and its ability to move was severely reduced. In the end, it could not escape its fate of being destroyed. In the midst of the chaos, the remaining wild boars managed to find a way to escape, disappearing from our sight. But we were not worried. With the support of the hunting dogs, we quickly regained the initiative. After a short time, the dogs found their hiding place. The barking of the dogs echoed throughout the forest. I adjusted my sights, identifying each panicked prey within sight. And immediately, I pulled the trigger. The last wild boars were taken down, unable to escape. Wild boars are multiplying at an alarming rate in the southern United States, devastating crops and the hard work of farmers, causing millions of dollars in damages. In response, fearless hunters have boldly ventured into this harsh terrain, determined to eliminate the threat. Will they succeed? The footage you're about to watch will make you feel like you're right in the middle of a real battlefield. Watch until the end, and let us know which moment kept you glued to the screen. The Texas swamp is in peak season, with wild boars multiplying uncontrollably. Lucky's team arrived early, ready for action. The hunting dogs fanned out, tracking signs of the wild boars. 10 minutes later, the dog's barks echoed from James' direction. He immediately sharpened his focus, scanning the surroundings. In the distance, a familiar silhouette darted across. James tracked the target's rhythm, firing consecutive shots. The wild boar collapsed before it could escape. Just one moment slower, and it could have slipped away, continuing to wreak havoc here. At another location, the dogs were barking loudly, and Lucky and his team quickly moved in. Upon arrival, they found the wild boar tightly surrounded by the hunting dogs in the middle of the water. Without hesitation, Lucky closed in on the boar. Just as it prepared to charge and counterattack, a burst of gunfire from his hands rang out, putting an end to its aggressive intentions. What a heart-pounding moment. Deep in the swamp, one of the team's shooters spotted his target. While tracking the remaining wild boars, the sound of hunting dogs barking rang out nearby. He immediately moved toward the source of the noise. Before his eyes appeared a large, fat wild boar calmly foraging for food. Quickly getting into position, he pulled the trigger. The boar collapsed after just one shot. Another threat was eliminated swiftly and decisively. On the hillside in Tennessee, another team of hunters quickly took their positions, determined not to let any escape. Soon after, John spotted a group of wild boars leisurely foraging for food. Gunshots rang out immediately. The leader of the pack collapsed instantly, while the others scattered in panic before John could reload for the next shot. At the same time, another shooter spotted a group of wild boars on the eastern side of the hillside. With his rifle ready, he quickly shot the target. The lead boar collapsed instantly, while the rest of the group scattered in panic, fleeing into the bushes. But before they could escape, gunfire erupted from other positions, swiftly taking down the remaining boars. The threat was handled cleanly and precisely. These cold, decisive actions brought the final hunt of the day to a close. If you've watched this far, let us know which moment captivated you the most. Don't hesitate to like, share, and leave a comment if you're hooked on these thrilling pursuits. And don't forget to follow the channel. because even more intense confrontations await you ahead.